right, well, it's good morning here from Sydney, but everywhere else it's probably night time or afternoon. I'm very fortunate today to be joined with a few new guests. On the screen on the left, we've got IgorBugMate dialing in from Israel. Bottom left, we have Zaraza in Moscow, and Marlonc in the UK. A late entry just joining us. Very glad to have Marlonc as well. Has been very helpful with keeping our main double elimination knockout on track and helping with the organisers behind the scenes. So welcome everyone. How are you all?
Good, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. We've got just a few viewers joining. Now Zaraza, I believe, has collected some questions, and we were very lucky today. IgorBugMate is going to act as our translator from me in English to Russian to Zaraza, and then when Zaraza speaks, Marlonc, who's also fluent in Russian, he will be converting back from Russian to English. We're going to kick off with a bit of fun. I've been told I'm going to be put on the spot. There's going to be some snap questions I've got to respond very quickly to without much thought. So without further ado, we'll let Zaraza ask the first question. All right? So.
Yeah, I'll just translate for her. Мы начинаем наш эфир, представление всех кандидатов в президенты, на турнире президентов. И начнем наш турнир с блиц, как говорится, с блиц-вопросника, который будет задавать Зараза, прямо сейчас начнет, будет задавать Джанги без времени на обдумывание ответов, чтобы сразу отвечал. Так что можешь начинать, Зараза, и будет переводить Марну.
Хорошо. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Now, number one, morning or evening?
Morning.
Kabash or carrot?
Carrot. I don't know what the kabash is. Sorry.
Cabbage.
Cabbage. Carrot. It's still carrot.
Jatsuki and Katask.
Jatsuki.
Okay.
Jatsuki.
Oh. Okay. Car or bike?
Bike.
Blonde or brunette?
Blonde.
Wow. File or diagonal?
Diagonal.
Bullet or blitz?
Blitz. No, blitz.
Blitz. Knight or bishop?
Knight.
Wine or spiced rum?
Spiced rum.
Bughouse or Crazyhouse?
Crazyhouse.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Excellent.
Okay.
I was like, my all answers was like yours. I mean, even blonde. My wife is red.
I might have to say
redhead,
that one.
My wife has black hair, so she wasn't in the options. I had to say, and I have to explain. Jatsuki or Katask, I suppose, is not necessarily to do with player strength, but I know Jatsuki for many years, so I have some association with him. So that's nice. That was fun.
I know. I have a feeling that will be a final match for a championship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we can open with that. I think Katask is by far a big favorite in the candidates, and it will be very interesting. I mean, I think it will be incredibly strong. Everyone will put in their best efforts, but I think that's the player Jatsuki should be preparing for already. But with here he is in the chat. He says so much pressure. But we've not seen someone like Katask in the game for years. So someone that is studying the opening so much, but also playing very well in all aspects. So anyway, we'll talk more about Katask and what we've got to show you. yeah, did you have any more questions, Zaraza? Otherwise, we can get into the main section of the introduction to the candidates.
Еще какие-нибудь вопросы? Дополнительные?
Yes.
Yeah?
Да, спроси у него, пожалуйста, многие смотрели его игру с Броком, Ту-64 Брок. Джан Лин был не в самой лучшей своей форме. У многих было даже подозрение, что он может не выиграть. Спроси, пожалуйста, что он чувствовал, были ли опасения у него по ходу игры, что он может не выиграть, да, и что он почувствовал, когда все-таки выиграл, потому что Брок молодой, ну, такой, оказался сильным в этом году игрок.
Okay, so a lot of people watched your game with Cabbage or 264 Brock.
Yes.
It didn't seem like you were in the best of form at the time. Possibly even struggling to be able to win the match. So, in short, what was going through your head?
Yeah, that's a fair comment.
Such a young whippersnapper stepping to you.
Yeah, so, to be honest, a few things weren't going my way that day. A 264 Brock was playing really well. And is also, like, I've not played this opponent before, know very little, so that is the first thing. And secondly, for some strange reason, that day my computer tower here was like rocking and shaking with the fan in it. I turned it off multiple times and restarted it, and you know, at that time I was afraid it would wake up the family. Actually, it was that loud. So I'll translate that first to Russian. Yeah.
Okay. Он говорит, что действительно, то есть, во-первых, соперник очень сильно играл, и во-вторых, у него именно в этот момент как бы с компьютером были проблемы, в общем, он как-то застревал, и он перезагружал его, в общем, пытался, в общем, были проблемы. Okay, and then?
Yeah, so, yeah, and when I say this, I want to take nothing away from 264 Brock, because that's what I've started by saying. He was playing very well. I kind of prepared one or two lines, and you know, he had understood the lines better than myself. So you know, prep going wrong, opponent turning up playing very strong, computer not doing well. So I think by game 4, I felt I should be down 4-0. I think I had one very lucky game. I had like all my pieces on the back rank, but move 10 or something, and I somehow he kind of gave me some play, and I won that game. So yeah, at some point I kind of said, well, look, the fan is not going to stop, and I'm not going to stop the match, and I just have to try to focus here, and I, instead of trying to play anything theoretical or prep, I just tried to play one move at a time, and I was very lucky that day because, yeah, like I didn't believe in myself after game 4. So you know, that's the worst bit as a player when you lose faith in yourself.
As a huge fan, I never accept the situation that you don't believe in yourself.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
I think it's a great question to open because I've been around so long and near the top. Like people think you're a machine. You know, I still have a family. I still have circumstantial aspects, but I wasn't live. I mean, I was deliberately just focused and not trying to live stream or commentate that one either. So yeah, you.
Yeah, I'll try to translate most of what you said. Значит, помимо того, что, как говорится, соперник играл очень сильно, и плюс того, что у него были немного проблем с компьютером, он еще готовился. То есть он приготовил пару вариантов, и именно в этих вариантах оказалось, что его соперник оказался, то есть он понимает их лучше и оказался сильнее. В общем, он должен был быть минус, то есть 0-4 проигрывать. В одной игре ему очень сильно повезло. У него все фигуры были на последней горизонтали, но как-то он умудрился вообще выкрутиться и победить в этой игре. Но, честно, после 4 игр он не верил в себя. И он начал играть какие-то другие варианты, то есть другие дебюты, просто вот играть там, ход за ходом. И в результате, в общем, повезло, как бы, но он говорит, он, в принципе, тоже, говорится, не машина, хоть и боги, легенда, но не машина, человек, но всякое бывает. И семь, в общем, обычные, как говорится, обычные сравнения. Вот. Я сказал, как его огромный болельщик, я не допускаю такого момента, чтобы он не верил в себя. Он может проиграть, но чтобы он не верил в себя, как его очень большой болельщик, я не хочу этого допустить. Чем пожелал ему таким образом успеха.
Okay. Joanna writes in the chat, what time of the day do you think you play best?
Yeah, that's a good. I think if I have my choice, it's probably midday or afternoon. But two things don't allow it. My lifestyle, because usually it's either work or family at that time. If it's on a weekend, the afternoon, early afternoon, midday is for family. So yeah, it's usually now in terms of schedule, it's something like 10 or 11 p.m. just to be able to play, or 5 or 6 a.m. But it's hard to say now. I've done it for enough years. Maybe the brain is used to it. I feel sometimes playing early in the morning, I'm still warming up, and then some nights I'm actually using it to burn the last of my energy from work to try to clear out workspace. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. I think if you go back to my time when I'm single and at university or something like that, wow, it would just be I'll wake up late and midday till 6 p.m. That'd be my favorite. Yeah.
Oh, well, then that's still the same thing, isn't it? That's still like, right after you get up sort of thing, so.
Sorry, did I say I should have said midday to 6 p.m.
Yeah, afternoon, yeah. В общем, как любому семейному человеку, ему удобнее всего играть, конечно, где-то в 12 час дня, то есть днем. Днем день-то самый, в общем, раньше, когда он был студентом, он мог, то есть, естественно, просто просыпался, играл там до 5-6 утра. Сейчас, конечно, такой, видимо, позволить не может, ему тяжело, в принципе. То есть утром он просыпается и немного разогревается, вечером он уже устает, и как бы хочется, как говорится, уже отыграть все свое, как бы, и отделаться, пойти спать.
Train Flipper writing, what is the best chess title?
That's LM according to everyone yesterday. Lee Chess Masters is the one.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't get it anymore. Yeah,
we all know who Train Flipper is, by the way, right?
No, I think I thought I knew.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of an open secret. It's Legion, so.
Yeah, no, I was thinking in the background Legion, but in case I got it wrong, I preferred that you mentioned it.
I mean, there used to be 2 Legions, didn't there? But or at least, but he's the only Legion left. So
okay.
So he changed from Legion to Train Flipper, I guess, is why. But,
okay. I guess something to mention about titles in Bughouse and Crazyhouse, and this is before the time of Lee Chess, and I explained this to IgorBugMate and Zaraza yesterday, but we've never had like IMs, GMs, FMs. I know that maybe for Nigeria Chess Online they sometimes use those titles, but generally in Bughouse, Crazyhouse, you've got good players, great players, and then they say there's the gods. So there's the Bughouse gods and Crazyhouse gods. I do want to speak. I just minutes before we started, we had the real Gnaeus on Twitch. We're very fortunate to have him stream some of the first match, which was Blitz Bullet versus Clearcast. And for me, back when I started, the real Gnaeus, GNEJS, on freechess.org, he was considered one of the, if not the, Bughouse god, Crazyhouse god. And so just to foreshadow what we're about to show you, Zaraza has put in a lot of time to prepare some material with a god profile for each of the candidates, if you like. I've also gathered some information from each of them to have like a human profile. I think Marlonc has also had a hand in preparing the equivalent English where there's Russian, so that's something we're going to take you through shortly.
Just translate.
Yeah, so maybe one more question and then we'll get started into the content if there's any more.
Before that question, I'll just translate. Значит, он говорит, что в принципе в Crazyhouse и в шведках не было, в отличие от шахмат, нету конкретных титулов. То есть мы просто делились, игроки делились на 3 категории, там любители, это хорошие игроки, сильные игроки и, как говорили, вот, не знаю, Crazyhouse, бог Crazyhouse.
Вот просто бог.
Ну, просто бог, да. Не, ну именно Crazyhouse, именно вот этой игры. И он подметил Гнейса, который, в принципе, основал вот программу, если кто-то играет давно, основал программу TIFF в сети Fix, где начались все эти вот шведки, Crazyhouse, вот все это началось там. И вот сейчас нам повезло, что Гнейс подсоединился к эфиру, и как бы и он, по-моему, он начинает транслировать первый матч. It's candidate match, right? The Blitz Bullet against.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, Blitz Bullet 182. That's an amazing result. So,
Blitz Bullet.
Congratulations to Blitz Bullet. Yeah.
Значит, Blitz Bullet победил 8-2 у Clearcast. Это довольно неожиданно для меня. Вот, и Гнейс этот матч, как говорится, транслировал. Значит, сейчас один вопрос, и мы перейдем к представлению всех кандидатов на английском, на русском, и вот то, что говорится, я буду переводчиком. Если есть какой-нибудь еще вопрос, можно его задать.
А почему Джан Ли не участвовал в том году, но принял участие в этом году?
Okay, very nice question. Why didn't you participate last year, and now you've decided to participate this year?
Yeah, last year I was also very busy. I mean, Spencer is now 2 years old, but we're basically going through the first year of a child, and from experience having Bella first, I know the second time around that there's not going to be time for certain things, so I still wanted to be involved, and that's why I did the role as organizer. But I feel that to play in candidates, you do need some time. You do need to play well, and I suppose out of respect for the standard of the game, I didn't want to throw myself in there where I'm postponing matches or not giving my all. Having said that, I think I've underestimated my available time this year because I feel very fortunate to have made the candidates, but work has been a lot busier this year than I anticipated. I work within a hospital, and because of COVID, particularly more recently, Australia's been quite lucky. We've dodged COVID for a long time, but no more. Like it's looking like we're going up. We had about 800 plus cases in the city I live in, which sounds quite small in the context of the world, but we're kind of.
How many citizens do you have in Sydney?
4 million?
People.
No, 800 was 4 one. Yeah, 4 million roughly.
Something like happening here. Like 1,000 cases among 6 million, so it's among 9 million. Sorry.
But did you get it back to zero, or have you still got it?
No, after we get it to zero, we are starting with the new virus Delta. So
yeah, Delta is different.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, we've anyway. Candidates are about to begin, and we've still got to try our best and play. So I'm just really looking forward to it this year. To be honest, I just to participate. I'm just going to enjoy it. So before we go
It's
further,
only a game at the end of the day, right? I mean, my son told me that once a game starts feeling like a job, then it's time to take a break.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And it's never felt like a job for me. I do need to ask, Marlon, is it Marlon C or Marlonc? What's the preference for your pronunciation?
It seemed like everybody read it as Marlon C from the get-go, but some people, not mentioning any names, okay, started saying Marlonc, and it just seemed to stick. So, I don't care. I'll answer to both because, in real life, people always think my last name is my first name and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
So I saw. So it
I'll
looked
try
like.
to translate your answer for the question. Значит, в прошлом году у него был годовалый сын, он им очень сильно долго занимался, и ему было не до игры, то есть он занимался в организации этого турнира, но вот чтобы дойти до уровня кандидата, со всей серьезностью отнестись к турниру, у него просто не хватало времени, силы, и поэтому решил не играть. В этом году он, в принципе, то есть он не менее занят оказался, но он решил все-таки сыграть, и получить удовольствие ему повезло, попал в кандидаты, в претенденты. И то есть у него не убавилось, забота у него не убавилась. То есть сынулька подрос на год, уже 2 года Спенсера, но, как говорится, забот не убавилось, но он уже играет, будет играть в этом турнире.
Поняла. Переведите, пожалуйста. Прежде чем начнем сейчас говорить о кандидатах, да, особенно та большая презентация, хочу в эфире сказать большое спасибо человеку, который мне дал эту идею и написал первое описание Джан Ли как пример. И я уже совместно, дальше писала. Большое-большое спасибо это Крокодил Хантеру, за Crocodile Hunter. Его идея была, да, он показал мне видео Джан Ли прошлого года и сказал, ты сможешь это сделать. И второе большое-большое спасибо это Marlonc, потому что мы вместе с ним делали все описания, он очень много помогал как раз дать идею звучания, как это будет на английском, потому что языки разные. И, собственно, это получилось один такой большой интересный проект, поэтому им двоим большое-большое спасибо.
So she wants to thank both the Crocodile Hunter who came up with this idea to show your video for last year introduction and make something better. I mean, all the descriptions with the human and God stuff. And also thanks to Marlonc who actually made the English version of those candidates, as far as I know, as far as I understand.
Sure. Okay, well, let's get started. I will address one last question. Gingerbread Man ZH says, question for JL. Have you ever had people come to you in person knowing your online presence? And that's no. In fact, no. The closest I've heard, which was amusing, though, was my good friend Mugwort. He does chess coaching sometimes. I believe one of his students got in trouble or something and had to be in detention or sin bin, whatever you want to call it, and he said, oh, that was fine, I had my phone with me, so I went to watch some John Lee Crazyhouse. So that was the closest someone in real life had actually been a viewer. Yeah, sure.
Что был вопрос, если кто занимается именно шахматной деятельностью из игроков топ Crazyhouse, что сказал его хороший друг Макворд, который учится еще и шахмат, так один из его учеников, он просто сидел с телефоном на уроке и смотрел партию Джан Ли Crazyhouse. Это самое близкое, что говорится в шахматной деятельности.
Ну, может, начнем тогда?
Okay.
All right, let's get started. Okay. So I'm just gonna get it up on the screen. So here we go. Okay, so some of this text has been prepared by Zaraza, originally in Russian and then translated by Marlon C or Marlonc. sounds like both are acceptable to Marlon himself. But
no, I'll answer anything as I say. Yeah.
Sure. So we'll go line by line. So the 5th Crazyhouse World Championship is being held on the famous not-for-profit chess website lichess.org. The first time the championship was held back in 2017, there were 64 players. 5 years later, in 2021, the field grew to 269 players. So this made it necessary to seed the players, and following a brief single elimination round for the minnows, which I've become educated in the last 24 hours, just means for the smallest fish, effectively. The double elimination round began. So this means that everyone gets a second chance, which is fantastic because if a player has to lose twice before they're eliminated, so even if you have a close 6-4 match, you'd have to lose 6-4 again, to get knocked out. So now only the 12 strongest players remain. They're the candidates, and they're also joined by the previous world champion Opel Wesen, who was the runner-up in the final of 2020. These 13 players will play round robin for the right to play the defending champion Jatsuki 99 in the grand final. And these aren't my own words, but I've got to mention, for 13 weeks, you and I will enjoy the battle of the gods and demigods. They will fight among themselves for the right to climb Olympus and overthrow the Zeus of the Crazyhouse pantheon. Here are the descriptions of each of the 14 players. Sure.
Немного о турнире президентов и о том, как туда попали, в принципе. Значит, началось это с турнира по олимпийской системе, причем с двойным выбиванием. То есть, если первый раз ты проиграл, у тебя есть шанс еще поправить в сетке проигравших. И так получилось, что, значит, 8 игроков попали из главной сетки победителей и 4 игрока из проигравшей сетки. Плюс еще присоединился к ним прошлогодний финалист Опер Везен. И так у нас получилось 13 президентов. И они проведут турнир по круговой системе. То есть каждый матч будет состоять из 10 партий. И победитель этого турнира встретится с чемпионом мира Jatsuki 99. И в матче название первенства мира. Будет очень интересный турнир. Приглашаю всех смотреть, следить за ним. Будет очень много красивых, интересных матчей. Один уже, кстати, совершился. Днем Blitz Bullet обыграл Clearcast 8-2. Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't anticipated that Igor would do a spontaneous translation of the foregoing.
That's all right.
I did want to say that if there are any suboptimal bits in the English thing, then I take full responsibility for that.
Oh, that's very kind, Marlon. It's absolutely fine, by the way. I've deliberately left it. I might have changed 1 or 2 words, but that's it. So largely untouched.
Oh, believe me, that happens. That happens all the time on serious news channels. I have reason to know.
All right. Overall prize pool of $2,000 US. This is a similar prize pool to last year. We have 600 reserved for the finalist. So that's between the first candidate and the defending champion Jatsuki 99. 400 for the champion, 200 for the runner-up, and the other 1400 is reserved for the other 12 candidates, which is a sliding scale from second candidate 150. Progressing, in increments of $10 or $5 down to the last 3 places, which each get a guaranteed $100, and these are all playable upon completion of all matches.
Значит, призовой фонд этого турнира $2000. Он собрался с добровольцев, любителей игры. Значит, все кандидаты получат как минимум $100, второе место, кажется, $150, и победитель $400, победитель чемпионата мира уже, то есть матча $400, проигравший $200. То есть очень, как говорится, еще деньги.
Very nice.
Да, не такие большие, но приятно, как говорится, что даже вот такой, как говорится, нашей игре, которую мы все не любим, есть еще и призовые, как говорится. Слушай, пока небольшие. From my perspective, I also think that as far as the game progresses and makes more popularity, the prizes will rise up. So,
yeah, we need to work out the funding for that. That'll be the next project.
I think that there's a lot of chances for this game to be popular, to become popular.
Well, I mean, this might be a good moment to point out that there is such an entity as Underground Crazyhouse, which was originally the idea of a German guy called Daniel Meyer.
Oh, really? I played him.
And
Crazyhouse.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then there's a Bulgarian fella called Blunderman1 who was actually like the mover and the shaker for the whole thing. He did the whole programming for this, and initially it was me, or it was Dan, who is SACDATSHT, so you can work out for yourself what he's saying with that vowel light kind of username. It was one of us and his dog, basically, but then Zaraza had the magical idea of creating a team for the purpose of promoting this, and so yeah, if you join the team of Underground Crazyhouse, then, which was Zaraza's idea, then you can play Crazyhouse all around the clock. No tak. Я просто хотел так сказать, потому что мне казалось, что это было важно в этот момент.
Окей.
Я просто видел твой проект, то, что создала группу группу Red Machine, где можно просто приходить и играть из-за группы, Twitter 24 часа. В общем, этот проект, он для популяризации нашей игры в России, может, за рубежом среди русскоязычных, очень важен для популяризации, для глобальной популяризации игры. То есть в этот момент, поэтому Марлон подчеркнул, я считаю, это правильно.
Thank you.
Спасибо тебе.
Давайте дальше.
Окей, давайте, супер комплимент.
Самое интересное, да?
She likes our compliments, but she deserves it, fully deserves it.
Okay, well, we'll thanks for that, Marlon. We'll move into the section where we cover the players. So in the spirit of this year, we're just going in random order, so it's in no particular order. But we'll cover each of the players' path of the candidates. So Blitz Bullet here, defeating Night Guard 6-0, IJ Nelson 137, OFBC Nigeria also 6-0, PKNM 6-1, and then a very close match with variants only. I've not seen like a draw and the match be so close, but 4.5 to 5.5 lost to variants only. And then in the lower bracket, defeating Alduto 6-1 and Spinal Tap 8-6.
I mean, it would be better to visualize.
Sure. Are you able to tune into the Twitch possibly, IgorBugMate? The problem is the file.
There's a delay. There's no delay there.
Yeah, the issue is the file is about 20 meg, and I didn't have time to close.
Really nothing.
Okay.
Let me put it in the Zoom chat. So all you have to do is click on that link. That's it.
But I think we probably don't need to translate the scores like every single slide. So we'll
все понятно, не надо объяснять.
We'll probably translate. We'll probably translate some of the.
Yeah, she says
the content.
It's understandable, so no problem.
Sure. Yeah. So here's a photo of Blitz Bullet next to a tree. It's Jalen Wang from United States of America, and where possible I've tried to nearly leave it verbatim, where it's quite easily readable from the players. So National Master in Chess, he says #1 in Bughouse and Chess.com by rating, is qualified for every CWC he's played in, and wants to say he thinks he's developed or popularized the Fianchetto line in Crazyhouse. Top 10 in multiple variants, and not really a theoretical player. Is both in chess and also Crazyhouse. A lot of A3 B3 or A6 B6 in standard chess. Yeah, Marlon, if you can see it as well, happy for you to chime in to try translation in Russian if it's an issue for IgorBugMate, but we'll leave that between you two of you.
I seriously doubt that would be an issue, and I don't think it's. I mean this sort of bullet point stuff. I shouldn't think would really need translation.
Sure.
So,
Okay. All right.
Я не знаю, стоит ли переводить, то есть, может, сомневаюсь, думаю, что и так все понятно.
Да, тут понятно, да.
Нет,
например, National Master NM. Это первый разряд или это выше?
Это мастер, национальный мастер. То есть это не международный мастер, это дошел
как я могу понять, это только в США или Канаде, да? То есть в другой стране есть что-то другое.
Ну, как бы там какой-то уровень рейтинга дошел, и получаешь уже этого мастера. По-моему, 2200 или 2300. Вот.
Но в Советский Союз был разные системы, да?
Да, в Казахстане, по-моему, своя система. У нас мастера нужно, по-моему, 2200 в Израиле. И 290, 280, что такое. Значит, тут... Нет, 290, извините. У нас 290 это мастер израильский. Значит, что отметить можно здесь, что он в каждый турнир президентов он пробивался. Вот это очень какое-то необычное достижение. Вот. 3 или 4 турнира президентов было, и в каждом он сумел пробиться. Молодец. Выиграл сейчас первый матч, убедительно выиграл, очень сильного игрока Clearcast. Okay, let's move on to the guard description. All
right.
I can say that.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Let's go. No. I was just going to say, the fianchetto line. I mean, fianchetto is Italian, right? So I mean, it just means flank. But I mean, if there's one fianchetto player who's active in Crazyhouse, it's GD Howard. Same thing every time.
Yeah,
my
view on this is before LeChess.org, and I'm talking years back, there would be one player in mind, and in English we'd probably say Dovijanik, maybe it's actually Dovijanic, but that is I'm not sure if it's Croatian or Serbian or somewhere, but my good friend Igor Bugzilla, he says Dovijanic. He's Croatian, but the Dovijanic by far was the only guy playing fianchetto way back when no one else would play it, and he still plays it today. And that's actually where I got my inspiration to play, G6 Bishop G7 system. So I'm going to put that out there that I got it from Dovijanic. So anyone else is getting it from me. He's the source. So Venomous is online. He says, I remember Dovijanic. Venomous, I remember you. We've been fortunate enough to have Venomous in Australia. Venomous played some Bughouse with us. But yep, Dovijanic is still active on LeChess and still doing what he used to do. He's the original, in my view.
Еще одна особенность, что он играет вот от 3b3 с фианкетто, я 6b6 черными с фианкетто, и как бы тут обсуждали игроков прошлого, которые так тоже играли когда-то, и Джанли даже вот пробует эту линию, G6, слон G7, то есть тоже фианкетто, и это получил от своего югославского друга, которого... what's his name? Sorry, the guy who you aspired to?
Dovijanic,
да. Вот. И как бы вот оттуда это все пошло и у Джанли тоже. Вот. Экспериментировать можно. Ну, как бы, it's not your baseline, right? So you don't play it. Justin?
The
best friend.
I mean, it's not your best line, your main line.
Best line.
So, yeah.
No, it's been a good way to avoid theory. That's the thing. Yeah. But yeah, it's I don't mind defending a position, and I seem to get into defensive positions quite often. We'll keep moving along. So here we go. Okay, this is the part for that Zaraza has put a lot of work into. Blitz Bullet the god Hermes. So Blitz Bullet is Hermes, the god of trade, eloquence, cunning, and dexterity. This is one of the brightest and strongest players. His talent and speed are amazing, and his games delight the audience. With the knowledge of a small number of not-by-the-book openings, he sets up a win in the middle of the game. He struggles to live down missing victory over Zhang Li in the 2017 CWC finals because he had Auto Queen on. Let's see how well he's used the past 4 years to prepare to fight with the god of knowledge, Zhang Li, again. So, that before I go forward with the Russian, I just said Blitz Bullet has just actually played his first match against Clearcast and won 8-2. So very nice result for Blitz Bullet. And I am surprised at how well documented this Auto Queen issue was from way back in 2017 that we're still speaking about it.
The people that keep that alive would hate to play Blitz Bullet in a match, I can assure you. But,
yeah, so I also need to call out, thanks for the donations, an anonymous cheerer. We've had Chuck subscribe, Venomous 1983 subscribe, and I also saw Joanna Tries donate $10 earlier. So thanks for the support. Okay, on with the Russian. Zaraza, all yours.
Blitz Bullet не зря считается Гермесом, богом торговли, хитрости и ловкости. Это один из ярких, сильных игроков. Его талант и скорость поражают. Его игра вызывает восторг зрителей. При знании малого количества дебютов в игре, не по книге, он умудряется выигрывать в середине партии. Больше всего известен тем, что пропустил победу над Zhang Li в 2017 году в финале CWC, потому что у него был включен автоквин. Посмотрим, насколько хватило ему времени в 4 года, чтобы подготовиться и снова сразиться с богом знаний Zhang Li. Я перед тем, как пишу описание, просматриваю игры игроков и выискиваю какие-то моменты, которые их отличают от других. И вот как раз скорость Blitz Bullet и этот факт, который мне подсказали, потому что я о нем не знала, позволил составить это описание.
Okay. Yeah, that was an extra little bit at the end there, which was a little bit fast for me, I have to admit. But I mean, I'm conscious of time and the fact that it's it's a working day and you've got.
No, it's not, Marlon, because I took the day off today to be able to do this. Yeah, so I'm under no pressure. We're here to have fun.
Последний час снова, пожалуйста.
Про то, что я как пишу, что ли, факты эти нахожу?
Да.
Я перед тем, как писать каждое описание игрока, смотрю его игры и ищу то, что отличает его от других игроков. Соответственно, у Blitz Bullet это его скорость, да, на которой я сделал акцент, и факт, который мне подсказал один из игроков, про автоквин, да, его проигрыш, который это легло в основу описания.
Okay, so she had the idea initially, but then the speed with which the guy would just win the game led to complete reconstruction of the idea.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
Perhaps I'm not in order. Huh?
I mean, before each description, she was looking at the games of some player this player, and trying to find what differs him from others. And in case of Blitz Bullet, it was speed. It was like play middle game and stuff like that.
Well, the name suits Blitz Bullet. And
indeed, yeah.
And my background at Blitz Bullet has been around a long time on Fix as well, freechess.org. So Blitz Bullet is not a new player. Has been matching it with the top in Bughouse and Crazyhouse for a long time. So he's probably more in the veteran category. Yeah, some of us started pretty young. Okay, we'll keep moving along, and I think we'll probably pick up the pace a little bit. But we've got Burpcow defeating Suwak 1999. OKE against Lovelix, there was a disqualification case. Little Plotkin 6-2. Defeated by Dog Answer 4-6. and then defeating Marlonc 6-2, and a close one with Garnek 1-2-3, 6-4. So narrow path in. This is Burp Cow. We've got a photo of Burp Cow. His name is Jeremy Hui, representing Canada. Says this is his debut at candidates level this year. Learned chess at 7 years old. Played in tournaments until 15 and still now teaches occasionally. Started playing Bughouse on Fix, so Burpcow was also back from Fix days, and some of his best memories playing Bug all night with Cheesy Bread. So Cheesy Bread was the original name for 12-teen back on Fix, who is now known as Jatsuki99, just to be clear. Cheesy Bread, 12-teen, Jatsuki99, the same talent. Has got more into Crazyhouse in recent years on Lee Chess. Yeah, Igor, if you want to translate just these words.
Just mention, это первый дебют в турнире президентов чемпионата мира по Crazyhouse. Он начал учиться, то есть, учил шахматы в 7 лет, и до 15 лет он как бы играл. После этого сейчас он преподает шахматы, говорится, и иногда преподает шахматы. Вот, он очень давно играет, то есть со времен Фикса он еще играет как бы в шведке. Вот, и в Crazyhouse он какое-то несколько лет на личесе. Его убедительная победа над нашим Плоткиным 6-2 действительно стоит, как говорится, уважения. Меня вот даже поражает, что он так умудрился так легко победить Плоткина нашего.
Он пишет в чате. Барков.
Ну, да.
Мы только что начали играть в баг одновременно.
Да, с этим Jatsuki, с чемпионом мира по Crazyhouse.
Если что, он Jatsuki был преподаватель для него.
Да, вот так. Его тренер.
Класс.
Alright, we'll read a few comments from the chat. Katarski says, Burp Cow, the original teacher of Jatsuki, and Burp Cow has responded with, we just started playing Bug together at the same time. Says, if anything, Cheesy taught me. So, very modest from Burp Cow to come clean with that. Alright, we've got Burp Cow is Achilles, son of the, I can't read that, but Marlon, help me out. Piston King.
Yeah, hold on a second. It'll come up on my screen. Okay. Burp Cow is Achilles, son of the Pythian king Peleus and the sea goddess Thetis, a strong, brave, and agile player of dynamic, old-school Crazyhouse, despite the fact that our warrior was wounded in the heel by Dogance's arrow and thus he returned from the dead to beat Garnek in the second tier, thereby becoming a fully fledged candidate. Now he has his chance to get even with Dogance in the semi-finals.
That's very nice. He's showing me up with the dramatic as well.
I wrote it, didn't I? So, you know.
Well done. I feel like it's the backdrop to, like Age of Empires or something like that, where all the ships are rolling out onto the sea, and we're talking about the campaign of Achilles or something. All right, that's lovely. Okay, sorry, go ahead, Zaraza, Russian.
Ладно, моя очередь. Барков, сын фтийского царя Пелея и морской богини Фетиды. Сильный, смелый и ловкий, динамичный игрок старой школы Crazyhouse. Несмотря на то, что наш воин был ранен в пятку стрелой до Гансфера и таким образом выпал из корзины первого пассива, он воскрес из мертвых, чтобы победить Гарника 123 во втором эшелоне, тем самым став полноценным кандидатом. Теперь у него есть шанс поквитаться с Дагансфер в полуфинале.
Okay, we'll continue. There's talk. So Blenderman 1 votes for you to read from now on, Marlon C. In fact, you have a better shot at being dramatic. I'm going to wake up the house if I try to contest with you. All right. Okay. Next up, Katask. Okay, past the candidates. In tennis, they talk about donuts. 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0. So CH Lively Lemon. IgorBugMate, one of the victims, is on our chat today. IgorBugMate. And Grudges.
I actually had a winning game, the last one. I was plus 10,
Вариационный сегодня в Дискорде смеялся, что ему можно на этой неделе уже сдаваться. Пропускать игру.
И, Игорь, ты знаешь, окей, может поговорить с тобой об этом, опыте.
Опыте.
Ну да, 2 года назад у него была та же самая ситуация.
Okay, it's just, I mean, we can talk with the case. So you had the same situation 2 years ago. So we'll just share our experience of being beaten by one of the greatest.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's an amazing talent. So we'll just read our last couple. Pepsi and Gaming and Antic also 6-0. Now, Katask, this is what he's actually written. So he said, right now, not looking to contribute a lot of personal information, so feel free to take liberties with the characterization. The video last year turned out great, and best of luck during the candidates, and I look forward to the matches. So, yeah, Katask was actually on the sidelines last year, but watching there, the cat is my contribution. Now, some things he didn't say. Currently highest rated Crazyhouse player on leechess.org at 2906. Now, ratings have been higher before, but that was at a different time where I would say that ratings were inflated. I got somewhere up to 3,100, so let's just call that out. Ratings were inflated there when a whole lot of new players joined on Lead Chess.
How do you think your 300, you were 3,100, right?
Yep.
At your peak. So what is, considering the inflation right now, what should be his rating?
Well,
at that time?
If you take my rating now, which is about 2650, and you subtract as a difference of 450 or 500 points, so maybe that's 3,300 in old terms. Wow. Or something like that. Nice. So yeah, 2906 in the modern era is a massive rating, and he's won 16 out of the latest 20 games against current Crazyhouse World Champion Jatsuki 99. So this is why people are considering Katask a big favorite heading into the candidates, because he's already got the most impressive record versus the current world champion, who no one else really has, to be honest. Okay. Sorry, did you want to translate that? I'll go back. Sorry. Yep.
Я считаю, главный фаворит, многие так считают, главный фаворит турнира претендентов Катаск. Много о себе не любит рассказывать. Видео в прошлом году, вышло очень неплохо. Еще у него на высочайший рейтинг, по данным нет, там 2906, это, если в прошлом там люди проходили до 3300, то сейчас рейтинги очень сильно упали, конкуренция намного увеличилась, поэтому его рейтинг 2900, это по старым меркам, то есть Джан считает, что это примерно 3300 вот, по старым меркам. Вот, а его, то есть, когда он был в лучшей форме, был 300, наивысший рейтинг. То есть можно представить, насколько Катас силен. Вот, он выиграл 16 из 20 последних игр против нынешнего чемпиона Джасуги 99. 16 из 20. Это потрясающий результат. То есть вполне возможно, что это будет новый чемпион мира, но поживем и видим. Окей.
All right, Marlon, you're up. So when it refreshes.
Yeah.
Katask is Hephaestus, an outstanding genius of Crazyhouse, blazing through the heavens. His meticulous use of his skills makes him worthy of being the Crazyhouse champion. He is not afraid of heat or pressure, willing and able to defend his king before going after the enemy. When bored, he is rumored to make use of avatar accounts to give the top players the hammer and anvil treatment.
Катаск – бог огненной стихии Гефест, выдающийся гений Crazyhouse, сияющий в небесах. Его тщательное использование своих навыков делает его достойным быть чемпионом сумасшедшего дома. Он не боится жары или давления, готов и способен защитить своего короля, прежде чем отправиться в погоню за врагом. Когда ему скучно, ходят слухи, что он использует учетные записи аватаров, чтобы дать лучшим игрокам лечение молотом и наковальней.
Okay.
Okay, we'll move on. This is nice. So it seems the first section is myself and IgorBugMate reading, and then we've got Marlon and Zaraza to cover the god profile. So path to candidates for dog answer. Abhitop 1 6-0, Astavakra 6-4, Dushes 6-2, Valandir 6-0, and Burpcow a narrow one 6-4. Now, similar to Katask, didn't offer much information. Now, a name was provided, Callum Tasker, but I'm reluctant to believe it because I think it's just to say Katask and just to use a few of those elements, because dog answer is effectively the antonym to cat ask. So anyway, this was what was written. So Callum Tasker, country UK. Not much to say, I'm just here to learn from the best. It seems already like I was lucky to enter this second stage of the championship unscathed, considering the strength of the other players that qualified. From here on out, I just hope to win at least a few games. Very modest, but I think a very dangerous quantity here when we know not too much about this player. So IgorBugMate, we'll let you translate.
Okay. Значит, зовут его, по крайней мере, по тому, как он себя описывает, Калум Таскер. Но, то есть, Джанли, в принципе, многим видится тут шифр внутри Катаск. То есть, это кэт — это кошка, аск — это спрашивать. То есть, dog answer — это собака отвечает. То есть, кошка спрашивает, собака отвечает. И Катаск получается. То есть, скорее всего, там просто зашифровано это имя. В общем, ну, как говорится, у него много интересных достижений, но он не любит о себе говорить, он немного скромный, но он очень опасный, как говорится, очень опасный конкурент, может победить любого, и хотя бы...
Будет смешно, если он окажется темной лошадкой и обыграет Катаска.
Да, вот совершенно верно, то есть он действительно может быть темной лошадкой, потому что он довольно силен, он обыграл же этого Бурко, в матче дошел до финала с верхней, то есть не проиграв ни одного матча, с верхней половины турнира. И действительно темный лошадка, много о него просто не знают. Он из Великобритании. Но много о нем не знают, но в такой компании, как бы, он, говорится, один из кандидатов. Он может действительно оказаться темной лошадкой. Окей.
Okay, we'll move on. Alright.
Шура пришел. Шура, привет.
Да, если есть какие-нибудь там вопросы в чат, то есть сам можешь задавать, как бы будем по ходу дела.
Yeah, so people are peppering us with questions, of course, but yeah, no, we all love Shura. He's a Crazyhouse stalwart, and he's following. So cool. Thank you for following, Shura.
So stalwart meaning is familiar with the game?
Meaning like been he's like a journeyman, you know what I mean? Like he'd regularly participate in the hourly Crazyhouse tournaments when they were a thing on Lee Chess, and he has joined the Crazyhouse Underground, which everyone should join. So shameless plug, maybe. But.
Okay, all right. Well, you're up again, Marlon.
I am indeed. Okay, so dog answer is Momus, god of ridicule. It is not known who he was before, but in April of 2020, an account appeared with a name directed at a task. Does not communicate with anyone, and his settings do not permit new direct messages, not unlike Katask. The audience is looking forward to the dog answer versus Katask match. How can a dog answer a cat? Will the trolling god be able to defeat Fire God, or will he leave the arena with his tail between his legs?
Дагансвер – это Момус, бог насмешек. Неизвестно, кем он был раньше, но в апреле 2020 года появилась учетная запись с именем, адресованным Катаск. Дагансвер ни с кем не общается, его настройки не допускают новых прямых сообщений, в отличие от того же Катаска. Зрители с нетерпением ждут матча Дагансвер против Катаска. Как собака ответит кошке? Сможет ли бог троллинга победить бога огня? Или он покинет арену, поджав хвост.
Okay, very good. All right, we've got Zixon here, and I should have asked before starting this if it was Zixon or Zixon, but I'm going to go with Zixon for this presentation.
6-0 versus Juanet. Amazing.
Yeah, so
Wow.
look, Chess Messi 14, Holston Tour 6-1, GD Howard 88 got a draw 6.5. Sorry, it should say 6.5 to 0.5. There's a hyphen in the wrong place.
Wow.
Mini Great, who's one of our
you know what? I think he'll give a fight to Katas.
Oh wow, okay. Now we'll go to the profile. Zixon has been playing the game longer than myself. So Zixon is known as Firefly from freechess.org. Fix. This is a beautiful photo he sent through, saying effectively teaching Bughouse to 50 kids. But
that is a ripper, yeah.
But I'm kind of looking at it going, but how come one side has 2 blacks and one side has 2 whites? So anyway, there's 2 boards up there, and that's a lovely photo of a chess coach at camp. So he says, my real name is Martin Aronson from Sweden, FIDE ID 1724223 if you want to look it up. That's the photo right there at a Swedish chess training camp, spreading the joy of Bughouse and Crazyhouse and upholding the Swedish traditions. So long time ago, it's Zixon Firefly and also Ghanaias, both from Sweden. These 2 are considered Bughouse gods and were leading a pack of other Swedish players as well. So Sweden was, back when I started, considered the homeland.
This might be a good
Bughouse.
moment to ask actually a question that I have rocking around my brain. Ребята, есть вариант, называется шведский, да? Это баг? Это одинаково?
Bughouse.
So Bughouse in Russian is known as Swedish chess. So there you are.
The same in Israel. The same in Hebrew. Also.
Yeah. Jan, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Now.
It doesn't surprise me. So that's very nice. Swedish chess.
Absolutely. Swedish chess, yeah. Also in Hebrew, the same. So it's amazing. And okay, I'll try to. Я просто попробую рассказать немного о моем самом любимом игроке, которого знаю уже больше 20 лет. Его зовут Мартин Аронсон. Может быть, то есть ходят слухи, ходят легенда, что именно за счет его, он из Швеции, за счет его шахматы назвали шведскими. Вполне возможно, что это правда. Он очень давно считался, если не самым сильным, но один из самых сильных игроков в мире по шведским шахматам. И Crazyhouse он тоже один из сильнейших в мире до сих пор. Он разгромил в турнире, то есть в сетке турнира он разгромил Хуанета, очень сильного игрока 6-0. То есть я считаю его главным, можно сказать, главным конкурентом для Катаска. Он очень сильный игрок, и я очень рад, что он попал то есть что принял участие вообще в этом турнире и сейчас будет играть в турнире президентов. Очень надеюсь на его хорошую игру, и я за него болею. Okay.
So I should say, last comment, very modest, saying looking forward to getting crushed in the candidates. I think this player should not be underestimated. I think it's amazing what he's doing. He was not only, one of the best 20 years ago, he's actually kept up with all of the, new competition and the new movements in the game. So it's amazing. The score 6-0 against Juanet, who was a very well-known past candidate. That speaks volumes. So we've got Zixon as Odin. So I'll let Marlon read this as long as the stream catches up with you. Yep, you're up.
Couldn't be other.
Okay. I don't know if he would prefer Zixon or Zixon. but I'm going to go with Zixon. It pleases me more. Zixon is the ancient Norse god Odin, a sage and a shaman, a connoisseur of defenses and openings, the god of war and victory, the lord of Valhalla. He came out of his nothingness to fight for the right to climb Olympus. In the battle with Swanet, he won a famous victory, proving that even the old gods cannot be written off.
Absolutely.
Зиксон, древнескандинавский бог Один, мудрец и шаман, знаток защиты и открытий, бог войны и победы, владыка Волгала. Он вышел из своего небытия, чтобы бороться за право подняться на Олимп. В битве с Ксуанет он одержал знаменитую победу, доказав, что даже старых богов нельзя списывать со счетов.
One other thing, I would say I'm a big fan of Swedish metal band Amon Amarth. So all the gods there, Odin and Valhalla, they are also mentioned there. So it's close to my heart. All this description.
Ну, да, конечно, потому что такая музыка это для людей с севера, да? Ну так.
Да, то есть Viking, all the Vikings history is, I mean, it's like.
Well, I mean, just as earlier with COVID and hospitals, we could go off on a massive tangent here with cultures and regions and stuff. But, no, I mean we should move along. We don't want to go into a fractal infinite regress kind of
That's all right. It's all good fun. That's I'll mention a comment here before we move on. It said Jatsuki99 in the chat. He says Firefly, the original A6 B5. So that's Jatsuki's inspiration. It's actually from Firefly. Yeah, and I can attest to that. Firefly did play that in past years. Yep. Okay, we will move along. Okay, next one, Bugzilla. Few 10-0s, some either forfeits or he just played through all the matches. But Ben 634, Andre 2 888, Blitz 88, and he's playing lots of players with 8s in them. First tough contest, the Lone Wolf put up a big fight, 6-3 to Bugzilla. I think that's a really strong result from the Lone Wolf to put him in danger. And then Bughouse Knight, who's been an exceptional player in the last year. Certainly one of those I thought could be fit for candidates. Bugzilla only narrowly won 6 games to 4. And Bugzilla is...
I will say, actually, while Zaraza's away from camera, that Blitzer 88 is a better player than that result would suggest.
Sure.
Yeah, but just an aside. I don't know where Zaraza's gone or why, but...
Okay.
Just thought I'd throw that in there.
That's all right. We'll keep up. We got also.
Oh wow! Oh, he's had a severe haircut, hasn't he? I mean that over the board Bughouse thing that you did. I mean he had like a proper shock of hair there.
Oh really? He played in a tournament. Wow.
Yeah, well,
not it wasn't a tournament. It was like.
No, I mean against Grishuk. I see here he lost. He was playing in FIDE in a knockout tournament. I mean.
No, I think Marlon's referring to a video. I think Marlon's referring to a video of over the board Bughouse. But actually, that hair is probably moving within normal range, Marlon. So it probably gets that long and gets cut.
Fair enough.
So Bugzilla's actually a good friend of mine. We. Back in university days, we spent so much time together. He's actually from a different city to me. He's from Melbourne originally. I'm from Sydney, but his girlfriend was up in Sydney, and we only knew each other online on Fix mostly, and played 1 or 2 tournaments. But we're good friends playing Bughouse online. And then one day he suddenly moved into like the suburb next door to me. And we had a lot of free time on our hands, so he's like a brother I never had from back at that time. Wow. So we're pretty close. He's got 2 kids as well. He started on the train of the family a bit sooner than I did. So that's our personal connection. It's his second year in the candidates. He defeated GM Dario Hansen in the final round to win Oceania Zonal in 2013, and that led to him obtaining an IM title, and he got to play in the FIDE World Cup in Norway. So got to play over the board against GM Alexander Grishuk, one of the super GMs in the game. He did. It was funny. He got the draw, and I said, "Wow, like that's cool. You're going to play him?" And he said, "Yeah." And he was giving me the itinerary of his schedule, and it looked fairly short. And I said, "What, what your schedule looks short?" And he said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to win." So he planned his travel around an expected outcome.
Still,
But he put
this tournament. I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, and it was lovely. He said it was lovely to just like walk around in a tournament hall and have all these legends of the game. Just you're used to playing your weekender tournament in Sydney or something, and then maybe over there is Kramnik or somewhere else. There's all these super GMs you just walk past, and Grishuk's across you from the board. So that's amazing. He did contribute to writing a Bughouse book in 2006. With some of you have that book, so others still active today.
It exists. Good, because Chuck Moulton says in the chat, and hi Chuck Moulton, by the way, that he
also Levon Aronian was a part of it. Levon Aronian also was a part of this book.
Oh wow!
Okay. Yeah.
Well, as long as it got made, because the thing about these ideas is that they gather momentum and they happen, not everyone makes it, but
No, and this book definitely got made. This book got made. Yes. Okay.
So I'll try to.
Oh, sorry. I'll go back. Okay. Yep.
Значит, Bugzilla first. Значит, это очень близкий друг Джастина. Они, в принципе, сперва познакомились в игре, то есть Фиксе, сети Фикса. То есть он жил в Мельбурне, то есть они жили далеко сперва, то есть он жил в Мельбурне, а Джастин живет в Сиднее, но то есть в один прекрасный день он просто переехал в Сидней прямо по соседскому дому, то есть они фактически соседи, они как братья, они просто сдружились, там, семьями, у него тоже семья, тоже 2 детей, и вот сблизились, то есть они уже лучше там друзья, то есть постоянно проводят время вместе. Потрясающий рассказ. И очень интересная личность. То есть он попал в турнир в Кубок мира по шахматам обычно и проиграл там в первом туре Грищуку. То есть он сыгрался. Но сам факт, что он попал туда, это как бы, то есть далеко не кажется, туда попадает. Но вот он туда попал. И была еще книга по шведским шахматам, очень известная книга, у меня она, кстати, есть, по шведским шахматам в 2006 году. То есть он там, естественно, то есть и он, и там еще несколько имен. Там, by the way, I know personally why Scorpion. I played him over the board a lot of times. He also from Israel.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yes, he's also from Israel, but I mean, I haven't talked to him for years, but still. Окей, это и как бы он частью этой книги, то есть он был соавтором этой книги, и эта книга еще главу целую посвятил Левон Аронян. То есть тоже эта книга, он тоже очень сильный игрок шведский был в свое время.
Да, я знаю.
Да, вот, и часть этой книги, вот, говорится, там целая глава. Очень классная книга, то есть счастье было ее заказать, купить и прочитать. Okay.
Well, very nice. IgorBugMate, first person I've heard to, interact with Wise Scorpion in real life.
He's a very mysterious guy. He's a very mysterious guy. He doesn't want to speak a lot.
Yeah.
Like the Coen Brothers movie, A Serious Man.
Yeah. But I have known him personally from Israel, so
that's lovely.
Same in life.
Online he's quite mysterious, so that does fit. But he has been around on Fix long time. Wise Scorpion was up there with the best of the Bughouse players. Sorry, Marlon, go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, like, I mean, as I said earlier, I believe live on stream. I started with all of this when Lichess did, but of course, you hear the names of the serious people, and Y Scorpion was definitely one of them. As in having a particular style that certain players would play into the hands of, sort of thing. But Pure Essence is another Israeli master who
I know him very well.
You do? Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know him for 30 years. Pure Essence and the
Wow.
also.
30 years.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
Yeah, absolutely. I was living next to him like for 3 years in Petah Tikva, and then I moved to Jerusalem. So we just our connection was a bit spread, but we still talk. I mean, occasionally we play in the Bughouse tournaments, stuff like that. He was also pairing Caspi wins, so they also always win.
Caspi wins.
Caspi wins.
Caspi wins is also very strong. Caspi wins, yeah.
So they are also paired, and they also, of course, win every tournament we play. But still, nice to to play against them.
No, Israel would have a very strong Bughouse team if they wanted to put it together.
Not like Australia, but yeah.
Okay.
Very good Bughouse community.
We'll move on. So Bugzilla getting the God of War Ares. So Marlon, we'll let you read this one again.
Okie dokie. Bugzilla is the God of War, Ares, a mighty warrior distinguished from other gods by his cunning. He is a master of many types of chess, but ascending the Olympus of Lichess, he discovered a lot of interesting and new things in Crazyhouse. In his bloody and merciless element, he decided to overthrow CV99, beating along the way. He doesn't battle often, but he fights with maniacal passion to the last drop of blood.
Bugzilla, бог войны Арес, могучий воин, отличающийся от других богов своей хитростью. Он мастер многих видов шахмат, но, поднявшись на Олимп Личеса, открыл для себя много интересного и нового в Crazyhouse. В своей кровавой и безжалостной стихии он решил свергнуть Ясуги 99, избив по пути Bughouse Найт. Он не часто сражается, но сражается с маниакальной страстью до последней капли крови. Все.
All right, I've got to say that Bugzilla and I, when we starting to learn Bughouse, Bugzilla was really the first Australian player to really take it to the top Bughouse gods at the time. We're talking like the Ganeas, the Fireflies. So Bugzilla was around at that time as well. Before Bugzilla, it would have been Mugwort, who was known as Creeping Death on Fix. Mugwort was our strongest player for quite a while. He was maybe 2100, and then Bugzilla just came flying out of the ranks and made it to 2500, and he was really the first Australian that kind of showed us that we could do it. And then since then we've had the likes of myself and Master Tan, and we've had some others as well come up from Australia, but Bugzilla led the charge probably about 20 years ago. So yeah.
Еще одна особенность Bugzilla — это то, что он был фактически первым, кто поднял уровень, то есть Crazyhouse в Австралии. То есть после него уже, как говорится, пошли все остальные, то есть Master Tan, Джанли, все уже после него пошли. То есть он был как бы главным, пионером, грубо говоря, пионером австралийских Crazyhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, Chuck. So Bugzilla on Fix was Iggy, I-G-Y. That's short for Igor. So Bugzilla's real name is also Igor, Igor Bielobrook. And he used to use Iggy, I-G-Y on Fix. And then the story behind him creating a new account is, back in the day, Australia had horrible lag with dial-up, and nobody wanted to play you if you had lag playing Bughouse. So he actually created a duplicate account so that, not because he needed a new rating, he just was sick of people declining him because they thought he had a bad internet connection. Anyway, it's okay that we can move on. I've got Jatsuki 99 on the screen already. So this is a A random entry.
Here we
This is
go.
not one of the candidates. This is the
Это чемпион мира Jatsuki
World
99. Мы о нем поговорим уже перед турниром. Перед этим, финальным матчем. После кандидатского цикла.
Sure.
Okay,
So,
let's move on.
Janak Awatramani from Canada, currently studying biochemistry. An avid Crazyhouse and Bughouse fan for many years, having played all prior editions of the Crazyhouse World Championship. I feel like he did miss 1 year, maybe the 1 minute Crazyhouse World Championship, but all the 3+2s or 3+0, I think he's been there.
Well, I mean, he did delete that account for a time, and people were asking me, of all people, why, as if I should know. But you know, I mean, the weekly last week, I think it was, he played as Jatsuki 99 and he played as 12 team, and you know, so you know, he was giving it both barrels, I guess. So, so yeah, I mean, maybe it's just how he rolls, you know, giving people the impression that he's not there when he is, and all the rest of it.
Well, okay. A bit cryptic there, but current Crazyhouse World Champion after defeating Oberwesen in the 3+2. So yep, we'll let you translate, Igor.
The 1+0. Okay, fine. Yeah. There we are.
Все-таки, ну да, поговорим о нем. Значит, то есть он из Канады, учит биохимию, студент биохимии. Нынешний чемпион мира по Crazyhouse, ждет своего противника из турнира президентов, победитель турнира президентов будет с ним играть. That's all, I think, yeah.
Okay. So Jatsuki 99 gets the title of Zeus, the king of the gods. So
Yes.
Marlon, your turn again.
As the man says, Jatsuki 99 is Zeus, the king of the Olympian gods, meaning the reigning Crazyhouse World Championship champion, and also the god of thunder. Da, na, 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 thunder. Weak or strong, his opponents have no choice but to run for cover as lightning bolts threaten death at every turn.
Ясуги 99 – это Зевс, царь олимпийских богов, действующий чемпион чемпионата по международного чемпионата по Crazyhouse, а также бог грома. Слабые или сильные, у его противников нет другого выбора, кроме как бежать в укрытие, поскольку молнии угрожают смертью на каждом шагу.
Вы interesting against Katask. Я забегаю немного вперед, но на Катаске мы последних 20 играх показал.
Посмотрим.
Должен бежать, посмотрим. Это очень интересно. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll say one last thing about Jatsuki, the very worthy champion last year. He absolutely crushed the rest of the candidates field and played very well against Oberwesen in the final. So again, also Jatsuki, you know, not really known as the theoretical player. It's actually once you're in the middle of the game and you're fighting hard, or even when you think you're winning, he's able to come back. So it's real fighting spirit. So I'll say those last words. If you want to translate those, Igor, then I'll move on. Yeah.
Значит, он еще добавил, значит, по поводу Jatsuki, что он просто разгромил прошлогодний цикл турнир президентов, то есть без шансов там на... How many percent of winning percentage?
It was like average 85%, something like that.
85% очков он набрал, это сумасшедший результат. Вот. И в финале он тоже уверенно победил Оberwesena и заслуженного чемпиона мира. И он отличается игрой, то есть он не особенно в теории, именно вот он отличается игрой в середине игры, в интершпиле. И очень сильный игрок, даже в плохие позиции он не раз и не два спасал. Он умеет как бы, то есть его очень тяжело побороть.
Да, так и есть.
Okay, we'll move on. Next up, Clearcast. Okay, path of the candidates is a Indian Gang 6-0, Jan 2011 6-0, Pepperloo 10-0, not Janli, 6-1. Yeah, not Janli. I think Clearcast was saying that was actually quite a tough match for him, so the score 6-1 maybe not reflecting how close it was.
Yeah.
But wow, the match against the finisher, I was kicking myself I didn't get to watch that. I've been too busy with work. I really wanted to watch or stream it, and I thought it would be a close one, but it was only when I logged onto Lead Chess and I was trying to figure out what the score was because I was too late, and I was like I was like, really? Did this go for 18 games? So very close match with the finish at 8-10. I think Clearcast was probably leading a few times there. Probably had match point on his racket more than once.
Last year I had two such matches. I lost to Simba 9-7 when I was 5-4 up and was winning position. And then I fell 10-8. I fell to freebie also. Both matches I lost, but they were like I'm a master of such long matches.
It's tough. It's draining. So
it's very tough.
I know that you like tennis analogies, Jan. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Finisher was the finisher. Michael was the John Isner on this occasion. I think would be correct. In Wimbledon terms.
It's very tough, and all the adrenaline, all the pressure.
Yeah, I think, and I think it's very interesting. I think it actually speaks for the finisher as well, because a lot of people are saying, okay, he's all in the opening, he's all theory. Believe me, once you make it to 5-all, once you get to 5-all in a match like this, which determines a spot in the candidates, your theory's gone out the window. Like, your opponent's clearly been able to dodge some of that. So that's just fighting spirit there to win 10-8 against Clearcast. Yeah. Go ahead.
Короче, мы используем аналог как из теннис. Понимаешь? То есть, что неважно, сколько теорий есть у вас. Если это 5-5, значит, что последний момент все теории в мире не будут тебе помогать. Да? То есть есть другой фактор в этом. И у финишера есть больше, чем теории. Несмотря на все, ему называют мистер теории.
Я понимаю.
Это мой перевод. Это, конечно, ерунда.
Проще скажу, что что, в принципе, и финишеры Clearcast, они очень зациклены на теории, но вот именно воля духа победила в этом матче очень сложно. То есть даже проигрывая 5-0 можно выиграть 10-8 при помощи теории. То есть, грубо говоря, но не только при помощи ее. То есть теория тебе не поможет, если ничего тебе не поможет, если у тебя не будет что-то кроме нее.
If you've just tuned in, you're listening to Russian 101 through the lens of Crazyhouse.
Very nice. Okay, I'll talk about the last couple of results. PKNM 6-3, and look, defeating Juan at 6-1. That is also, not an easy thing to do. So I think, Juan just ran into two players that were really firing well for the candidates. Juan has been at nearly all of them. He's known as pretty much the most aggressive player in Crazyhouse. He's got already a special place. He should be considered one of the gods of the game as well. So we'll keep moving along to the content Clearcast has provided. it's a lovely photo of Clearcast with the bicycles behind him. Hendrik de Groot from the Netherlands played first Crazyhouse game in 2009. Really started picking up the game when Lee Chess brought it on in 2016 and first made the candidates in 2018. So that was a few years ago. Has narrowly missed candidates in between then and now, but back in, he was quite modest. He said, "Oh, maybe talk about my streaming." I'm just going to say he's a high quality and high volume Crazyhouse streamer in the latest year. I've been largely absent, and fair to say Clearcast has filled that gap. Mugwort as well, but Clearcast certainly is lovely streams to watch. Main achievements in chess, it did beat Jan Timman, Grandmaster from way back in a 5+0 match, and in Classical beat an IM. Put at the link there. Says good luck in your games and with the organizing team as well. IgorBugMate, we'll let you translate.
Clearcast, известный стример из Голландии. Он уже сыграл в турнире президентов в 2018 году. И сейчас он вернулся. Вот. Победил в шахматах, он победил Тимана в Блитце 5-0 и победил международного мастера. Тут ссылка на его партию. Вот. Ну, самая известность, то, что он самый известный, один из самых известных стримеров, стримит очень много. И, честно, очень много, не знаю, мне немного скучновато его стримы, если честно. Вот,
потому что он теоретик, поэтому тебе скучновато.
Может быть поэтому, но это чисто лично мое субъективное мнение, но Джан Ли искренне рекомендует вот, смотреть, чтобы для улучшения игры, смотреть его стримы тоже. И его, и Магвор.
Я смотрю.
Вот. Ну, я тоже иногда подглядываю, вот, действительно, мое такое ощущение. I don't know if it's my subjective opinion, but Clearcast streams seem to me too boring for me. I don't know why.
Okay.
If I can be bored of ZH, so something wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm quite the opposite. I gotta say, I when Clearcast is on, I'm happy to just tune in and listen. I think it's very, very clearly explained, very clear in ideas.
It's productive, I mean, it's a great player or whatever, but I don't have an excitement of watching ZH to these streams. It's my subjective opinion. So.
Okay, no worries. Marlon, go ahead. Marlon, you're going to say something.
No, I was going to say, I mean, can you expand? I mean, there are streamers that I prefer watching to others, but I mean, I wouldn't say that I find any of them boring exactly.
Yeah, maybe it's unless it's a character
lack of
thing.
Excitement, okay? I'm not as excited watching ZH streams.
Понятно, что дело в том, что стил просто. Это просто, он делал, что я бы сделал, да? Ну так, и все. But по той же самой логику, это инструктивно, да? Да. So basically, what I said, I hope, was that the playing style of the streamer is perhaps not interesting for experienced people, but for people who are not so experienced, maybe it's instructive, and
should be so.
Yeah, I don't know. I find it's very easy to watch.
I was watching, your games against Yasu Sevan a few years ago, or Mugworts, even Mugworts. Mugwort streams. I had much more joy. I don't know why.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. but-
Since we're talking about mugwort, if I may for a moment.
Yep.
Mugwort was a player that I beat when I was coming up somehow, but through watching streams with Mugwort and I think there was one stream where it was Mugwort, it was Jan, it was Yasa Serawan.
Clearcast as well, possibly.
Maybe Clearcast.
Yep.
Maybe someone else. I don't remember. But Mugwort saw a mate in 7. And from that moment, I regarded Mugwort as someone who I should respect and listen to always. Because he saw it before any of these.
Чего вы спорите? Мои стримы по Crazyhouse еще самые скучные.
Ну, в принципе, Мugwort видел шахмат через Симхода, и Тесла не видел. И из-за этого момента по-моему, Mugwort просто бог. Вот.
Okay, but it's not here, and Clearcast is here, so
But-
to respect.
But Mugwort, Mugwort made it last year, and Clearcast missed. This year we've got Clearcast, and we're missing Mugwort.
Indeed.
But
indeed.
I mean, what you said, Marlon said, finding Maiden 7, like, he's had that ability since forever. And before I started Bughouse, like, he was clearly the best player we had in Australia. Like, he would just take on 2 people over the board and demolish them. And
maybe it's a British thing. I don't know.
But no, I've always been impressed with that. So let's move on. I'm really glad we've got Clearcast doing streaming.
If you want to improve your game, so Clearcast is
Absolutely. Clearcast.
No. I don't want to appear to not have love for Clearcast because I absolutely mad respect.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I guess playing Clearcast a lot over the years, and maybe hearing him speak in some weird way, playing against him, I feel I can already understand his ideas, and maybe for him to speak the ideas so clearly, which aligns with what I expect him to be thinking, is very satisfying for me. That's something. So
maybe it's for me as an amateur in the game. It's hard to understand him, so it's not.
Yeah, I find
the problem. Maybe I'm the problem. That I don't find Clearcast so entertaining.
Yeah, he articulates his ideas so well, and he actually executes them. I think that's my satisfaction in it. Anyway, Marlon, you're up. Hey, Clearcast, we've given him Hercules.
Okay, thank you very much. Clearcast, like the greatest hero of ancient Greek mythology, Hercules, is not afraid to challenge superior opponents, hardy and adventurous. He takes part in various Crazyhouse tournaments and championships. He beats his opponents one by one, like cutting off the hedge of the Hydra and burning the stumps, rising to the top of the podium and taking a prize.
Окей. Clearcast, как и величайший герой древнегреческой мифологии Геракл, не боится бросать вызов превосходящим по силе противникам. Он вынослив и азартен, принимает участие во всевозможных турнирах и чемпионатах по Crazyhouse. Он обыгрывает противников одним за другим, словно отрубает головы лирнейской многоголовой гидре, поднимаясь на вершину пьедестала и занимая призовые места.
All right. Yeah, certainly. I hope we've got Clearcast on board as one of our streamers. I'm hoping we got Mugwort. I want to get in the action. We've got the real Ghanaius, and we have others as well. So, someone asked in the chat earlier, if we're going to cover all the games, we'll try to cover them as best we can. These are going to be fantastic games. Okay, myself, John Lee. Here we go. defeated Goku 10-20-20 by 6-0. Kramka, Simba 7, both 6-0. CIW 9-1. I felt yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you, how did you feel during the match of CIW? It's a strong player, but I mean.
So CIW, I was very concerned about. I've played CIW many times before, and he knows my game. He's shot arrows through chinks in my armor. Let's say he's beaten me on several occasions. So CIW is a very dangerous player for me.
Yeah,
in terms of playing conditions, completely different to 264 Brock. I had absolute peace, no distractions. I was focused. I felt there were some games where I was pushing for attacks and going all in, and I always seemed to come up with the goods with a critical move when I needed it. So I thought before the match the one with CIW would actually be a lot closer, but I felt I was playing very well that day. And he wasn't playing badly himself, I felt. So that's yeah.
Why did I ask you this question? Because my experience, I mean, there are lots of strong players that I hardly managed to beat them in a given game. Against CIW, it was like he crushed me some games, but some games I did manage to win, to beat him, and even convincingly. So it was not it was not like something that happened occasionally. So it's a convincing win. So I see in his game very, I mean, he's not consistent. So your score against him proves his consistency. His consistency on his game. So maybe you should win. Maybe that's the difference of your levels. So
I don't know. CIW has been a bit of a mystery to me because some days, like you say, you play against him and he's just a rock. But then when I hear from other people, you know, it's like he's got some power to take on some big players, but then maybe across the field there's a consistency thing. Yeah, sorry, Marlon, go ahead.
If I may, I as an opponent, I know CIW from 2016 onward, and we have exchanged messages, and not, you know, direct messages and tournament chat messages, and I have reason to know why he fluctuates. But yeah, no, he has reached a level now where he deserves to. He deserved this year to be in the running, but I'm not surprised that on the day he didn't show up, based on what he's told me.
Right. Okay.
Stay on the subject.
Yeah, sure.
That makes sense.
Okay, let's talk about you
Well,
yourself.
no, but that's fine. I want to give credit to CIW because when you say the words like CIW from 2016, like there's been massive improvement in this player. So yeah, I just thought I'd say that I didn't handle that match lightly. I prepared for it, and I felt I had to play very well on the day. Still, so.
Do you see his potential to become one of those gods of the game?
Yeah, I think we have some gods of the game now that were like 2100 not that long ago, and CIW's played plenty of volume. So I think
I personally regard CIW and Marlonc in particular as people that I came up with who did whatever I did not do. if that makes sense.
So yeah, I think Morlock's
Same
also
with me.
an up and coming player too. So
Same with me.
let's move on. But I just want to say that there was a lot more respect than what a 9-1 score suggests on the sheet.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to mention 264 Brock, but we've mentioned that. We'll get to speak about him later because he's one of the candidates as well. Here's my profile I've put together. Justin Tan from Australia. I'm a family man. I've played Bughouse and Crazyhouse for over 20 years. Champion of inaugural Crazyhouse World Championship in 2017 against Jatsuki 99 in the final. Back then he was known as 12 Team. For me, speaking from the heart, it's a dream come true to see how much Crazyhouse has grown in terms of both the game and the community during the last 5 to 6 years since it was brought to leechess.org. So yeah, I kind of want to say when I first started streaming and was approached to do it, I felt I had some role to play as, you know, being transparent with the standard near the top. And as time has gone on, you know, it's been lovely to have so much strength come up around me and the players that I feel, you know, this year heading in, I've just got even chances against the field, to be quite frank. And you know, my role in the game is probably a bit more about extending longevity and inspiring those in the community. So yeah, that's what it's been about since the beginning, and it's lovely for me. So yep, IgorBugMate, we'll let you translate before I talk too much more. Yeah.
Ну, самый Джан Ли, это Джастин Тан его зовут на самом деле, он из Австралии. Первый чемпион мира, ну, в общем, легенда Crazyhouse, первый чемпион мира. Он победил тогда нынешнего чемпиона мира в финале Jatsuki 99. Вот. Но легенда шахмат, я за него тоже буду болеть, конечно. То есть он много чего сделал для популяризации игры и продолжает делать. 5-6 лет он вот в комьюнити Crazyhouse постоянно участвует. Что еще могу про него сказать? Просто дикий человек-легенда. Ну, Каспаров. I will just compare you to Kasparov of chess. I mean.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's too much.
No. That's what I feel. I mean, recommending you. So you made so much for the popularization of the game. Okay. I hope it will continue. And one day, you know, unlike Kasparov, one day you will come back and win the title again.
All right, thank you.
I'm your huge fan. I'm really your huge fan.
All right, that's very kind. That's too much for me. All right. Now this is interesting. So, but before you go ahead, Marlon, Zaraza sent me a draft of what this looked like. And I was flicking through, and I'm like, oh yeah, this looks really good, this content. And then kind of at halfway through, I'm like, hang on a sec, my name's in here, and what god did she give me? And then I got to my name, and I said, she didn't give me a god. And then I kind of read it, and I'm taking this to mean she's made me one of the gods. So I'll take that as a compliment, I hope. But Marlon, I'll let you read it. Yeah.
Very well, with pleasure. Jan Li is an ancient deity, the keeper of the font of Crazyhouse knowledge, firm and unshakable. He spreads his religion far beyond Olympus, gaining many followers and admirers. Each of his games is a creation of reason and strength. He can see the future, and the future is your defeat.
Джан Ли, древний бог, мудрец, хранитель знаний мира Crazyhouse. Он распространил свою религию далеко за пределы Олимпа, благодаря чему у него появилось много последователей и поклонников. Он тверд и непоколебим. Каждая его игра – это творение разума и силы. Он может видеть будущее вашей потери.
All right, that's very kind, very nice words there. All right.
Good morning, Bella.
Yes, we'll move on. So, yeah, the viewers can't see it, but Bella's on my shoulder at the moment. She's just woken up. Can you close the door, please? Okay, we've got Murray Orton. So path to candidates: Gyotcho Lass 60, Artem NBO 63, Atomic 64. Now this is a tough draw. Atomic, strong player, just won 6-4. Master Tan, previous candidate. Master Tan has been a candidate in every Crazyhouse World Championship before this one, all 4 years, 2017 to 2020. Won 6-4, and then also Mugwort, who we spoke about, 6-4. So amazing run from Murray Orton. Now Murray Orton's been around a long time as well. I feel I've known Murray Orton since, I believe he was on Buho 21 as well. That was a Spanish chess site. Juanet was also from there. His name Mario Juarez. Says, I represent Latin America. I'm excited. It's my first CWC. Good luck to all the participants. Man of few words, but lovely. I didn't hear from him till very late. Awesome photo. Check that out. It just looks like you should dive into that pool. So maybe he's just got the phone in the water and playing Crazyhouse while he's next to a beautiful waterfall like that. Sure. So you want to translate, Igor?
Okay. Значит, Марио Ортон, он из Латинской Америки, зовут его Марио Хуарес. В общем, он сделал потрясающий по силе соперников, как бы победил 3 очень сильных соперников: Атамека, Макворта и Атамек, Макворта, who did he beat also?
Sorry, it was Atomic, was Master Tan and Mugwort.
Да, 3 очень сильных соперников, которые постоянно играли в прошлый турнир президентов. Он сумел обыграть первый раз играет в турнир президентов. Желаю всем удачи и хорошего настроения. Латиноамериканское. Все потрясающе. Молодец.
First CWC, nice.
Applause, really. Applause. Okay.
Next.
No, so we've got to read a comment. So Gingerbread Man ZH says, where does the Orton come from? We've got Murray Orton in the chat. He's Mario Memok. He says WWE. So there's I think a Randy Orton is one of the characters.
Wrestling!
World Wrestling Federation.
Alright, so we got into the god profile for Murray Orton. So Zaraza's given Uranus, the father of the sky. So Marlon, you're up again.
Yes, thank you, Justin and Annabella. Good morning.
Hey. She can't hear you, but yeah.
Okay, fine.
Marlon says good morning. Okay. She's still waking up. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Murray Orton is Uranus, father of the sky. A Bughouse player who belongs to the old generation of gods. He is very conservative and like positional play.
Well, speak up, Marlon. We just lost you there a bit.
Oh,
so
okay.
A Bughouse player. Start from there again. Sorry, the sound cut. Yep.
Let me start over.
Yep.
Murray Orton is Uranus, father of the sky, a Bughouse player who belongs to the oldest generation of gods. He is very conservative and likes positional play. Perhaps this is the player who plays the most fortress style with both the black and the white pieces. As a rule, he's not given to sharp attacks. Measured but confident, he breaks down the wall of your defense piece by piece.
Мари Ортон Отец неба Уран, игрок в Bughouse, принадлежащий к старейшему поколению богов. Он очень консервативен и любит позиционную игру. Возможно, это игрок, который играет в самом крепостном стиле, как черными, так и белыми фигурами. Как правило, он не склонен к резким атакам, размеренный, но уверен в себе. Он разрушает стену вашей защиты кусок за куском.
Yeah, I'll give my analogy here, and I think that's a very accurate description that, you'll break your wall down piece by piece. I want to draw an analogy. I mentioned Age of Empires before about your voice, Marlon, but in the actual game itself, Age of Empires 2, you had these different ages you stepped through. You had a Dark Age, Feudal Age, a Castle Age, you had an Imperial Age.
Yeah.
And you would have players that would rush you in, the feudal age, try to get you early, and you had the players that would make their own fortress and build a huge economy and beat you in the imperial age. And Murray Orton is certainly the latter, that he will make his massive fortress. He won't try to kill you quick, but by the time you get near the end game, he's so safe and he just keeps knocking you down piece by piece. So I think that's very accurate. That's my analogy there for those that know Age of Empires 2.
Well, I mean that's for Zaraza. That's not for me at all.
Yeah.
So that's the Igor's thing. Yeah. Go on. Давай.
Просто привел аналогию к игре Age of Empires, где очень многие, то есть сперва или начинают атаковать, то есть очень многие игроки начинают сразу атаковать там и терять там своих солдат и все такое, а он как бы собирает армию, готовит, то есть делает крепость, готовит очень сильную армию,
Штурм.
и потом только переходит в контратаку и начинает, то есть, бить всех подряд, как бы своей очень сильной мощной армией, сильной экономикой и так далее. Очень хорошая аналогия привел Джанли, и я полностью согласен.
People can see you.
Nice.
Okay. All right. Opwezen. Okay, defeated Zhang Li in both 2018 and 2019 in the finals to become champion. Was runner-up last year against Jatsuki in 99. He's learned chess at 9 years old, 7 times Dutch junior champion. Nowadays not playing too serious, which is like worrying because even when he's not playing serious, it seems to be so devastating. Plays more pure as hobby, likes to play variants and bullet, and enjoys the variants since they've got their own tricks. He does also like to make his own compositions. So when I say that, I mean it'll be like from but the ones where like you might have both sides coordinating different moves to make some unusual structure that shouldn't happen in a normal game. Like I don't know, 6 pawns lined up in one column on a file or something like that. So Oppa wasn't. Yeah, chess composition. Amazing talent. Yep, we'll let you translate.
Окей, значит, Opwezen, он финалист прошлого чемпионата мира, проиграл Джасуги 99. Ну, естественно, до этого он стал чемпионом мира в 2018 году. И еще чемпионом мира по минутке в 2019 году. То есть он дважды чемпион мира. He's the only guy that is twice world champion, right?
Yeah, Opwezen twice.
Yeah.
So it was myself, then Opwezen twice, then Jatsuki, and we're now in the 5th year. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Единственный, который дважды завоевал титул чемпиона мира в Crazyhouse, один раз по 3+2, то есть стандартный контроль, а второй раз по минутке. Первый раз он обыграл Джанли, Джастину. Тоже очень напряженный матч, я следил за ним, очень интересный матч был. И по минутке он обыграл... Who did it beat on the 1+0 in 19?
In the final?
Yeah,
that was myself. Both 2018 and 2019. Yes. So all finals in the.
Оба матча, значит, главный обидчик нашего Джанли. В общем, оба матча он обыграл в 2018-2019, проиграв в конце концов Джасуги в 2020 году в финале. Научился играть в шахматы в 9 лет. Выиграл там юниорские, 7 раз выиграл юниорские чемпионаты Нидерландов. Сейчас не играет серьезно, но даже не, при том, что не серьезно играет и не часто играет, он очень опасен. Конечно, ну, играет, естественно. Еще он любит композиции, он сам создает шахматные композиции. Вот это действительно, что я не знал про него.
Да, он еще
Ясно.
играет в слепые шахматы. Он может весь турнир играть вслепую, с завязанными глазами. Он выкладывает потом видео, и, понимаешь, он может играть там, не знаю, 20 партий, да, за час, и он будет вслепую их играть. Вообще просто
So
уникальная
Zaraza
память.
mentioned he also likes blindfold chess. He can play chess.
Yeah, he likes worse than blindfold chess. He's got this like
Yeah.
thing which makes your white pieces black and your knights queens, and it's more distracting than blindfold chess. And then
Так не просто обычные шахматы, он играет так некоторые варианты. Там ферзи могут конями становиться, вообще что-то сумасшедшее. Он все это тоже, все это вслепую. То есть не просто обычные шахматы. Okay.
Opera Wezen is my favorite candidate.
yeah, no, a big favorite Opel Wezen, and also I think would have brought a lot of people into the game because he's very well known for his chess results in Bullet. You know, he's taken it to the likes of Magnus Carlsen and Ali Reza. With unusual piece sets that he's playing with, which is, it should be hard enough with normal pieces anyway. So yes, we'll go to his God profile. I'll just say he is qualified for the candidates this year as a runner-up from last year, so that's why he hasn't had a path to candidates.
If it was 1+0, he would be favorite undoubtedly. If it was 1+0,
What?
But 3+2, I'm not sure. Okay.
Tough to call. All right, Marlon, we'll let you read this one.
Marlonc?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, Marlon. Yes. Okay, you're up again. Okay. We just started here. Yep, we just got to this slide.
Opera Wezen, literally the supreme being, an outstanding genius of the tactics of Crazyhouse. He combines strength, intelligence, and phenomenal memory. Modest by nature, but not in his passion for chess. Do you really think that you cornered him and now you're going to checkmate him? Not so. While you were distracted by your fantasies of success, he has already checkmated you. His experiments cannot be repeated, and crowds of fans come to watch his games, shouting from the stands. After all, he is the favorite of the audience and the favorite in this race.
Opera Wezen буквально высшее существо, выдающийся гений тактики сумасшедшего дома. Он сочетает в себе силу, интеллект и феноменальную память, скромный по натуре, но не в своей страсти к шахматам. Ты действительно думаешь, что загнал его в угол и теперь собираешься поставить ему мат? Не так. Пока вы отвлеклись на свои фантазии об успехе, он уже поставил мат вам. Его эксперименты невозможно повторить, и толпы болельщиков приходят посмотреть его игры, крича с трибун. В конце концов, он любимец публики и фаворит в этой гонке. Let's go, Opera. Yes.
Yeah, I want to say a comment too. I mean, people know the long history of matches we've played. Our time zones just seem to align, where it's in the afternoon for him and late at night for me when I can get a game in. I think the picture is very fitting. As a player, I prefer to play the player and not the game, if that makes sense. I like to anticipate where my player's going and get in their head, and sometimes I find that more beneficial than playing the best move. And Opel Wezen is one of the hardest to actually predict, to get into his head, because he's just so creative. So that image of him not having a face, not having a head, is very difficult to read. I can say that after playing thousands of games against him. So we're very fortunate to have this talent in there. I find it strange that I'll be playing 10 games against him in this tournament, and it's going to be like a drop in the ocean relative to how much we've played each other. It's like a split second of a game, if total history. Anyway, those are my comments. If you want to translate, IgorBugMate.
Yeah, sure. Значит, Джан Ли просто рассказывает его опыт где-то после тысячи, даже несколько тысяч игр против Копервезена, что обычно он играет, то есть и в матчах, там, в соревнованиях он играет там против, то есть может там выстроить стратегию против соперника, и то есть играет не всегда он играет там самый лучший, делает самые лучшие ходы, иногда просто против соперника, то есть наиболее шансовый, что соперник там ошибется в данном таком стратегическом контексте. Но против Абервезена такие шутки не работают, потому что он очень креативный игрок, и никогда не можно зайти в его голову и понять вообще, как он будет против него играть. И вот эти 10 игр, 10 игр в предстоящем матче, которые вот будет в турнире президентов против него, это фактически как капля в море из всего, что говорится, всего, ну, всех ощущений, как бы, которые вот Джастину против Опера вот, давалось ощущать. Вот. Но все равно будет интересно. Да, это будет очень интересное противостояние. Вот. Ну, мы на разных сторонах баррикад, я все-таки за Джан Ли болею. Вот. Okay, we'll see.
Okay, we'll move on. All right, the finisher. Path of candidates win against EV2 win 10-0. Blitz met Jord 69 6-1. Advocat 6-0. Aldutos 6-2. And we spoke about the win against Clearcast 10-8.
I'll jump.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Channel Clearcast for a moment. The correct way to read that would be something more like Lai Mitzjord. So
nice.
Happy with Short is his name. So Lai Mitzjord. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, I'm butchering this with the Australian version.
Right, mate.
Yeah, that's our joke we have. Yeah, it's Blitz Metjord, mate. That's what we'd say whenever we know we're butchering something from overseas. So, yeah, he actually reached out. He said he liked the picture from last year, so we're sticking with it. Last year he was a candidate and didn't offer a photo, gave me an option, and I found this. I thought it was suitable. It was quite well received by the community. So twice in the candidates, actually played under a different name, Sexy and I Know It, in 2018, finished 9th back then. Big improvement in 2020, qualifying again and finishing 5th out of 12. Says, trying to do better this year, though my feeling is that this year's candidates field is the strongest so far. Lately I've been doing more organisation stuff, e.g. managing the Variants Discord, the house, organising elite Crazyhouse arenas, and managing Crazyhouse Curator, which is put a site link there, which admittedly has taken a lot of playing time away. Still, I'm looking forward to playing in the candidates. I liked the last year's avatar you chose. Igor, over to you.
Okay. The Finisher тоже один из сильнейших президентов. Значит, в 2018 году он выступал под другим ником Sexy and I Know It. Закончил в президенты 9-м из 11 человек. В прошлом году он уже играл намного лучше, закончил 5-м из 12 человек. Попытается в этом еще лучше сыграть. В общем, он еще много занимался организационными проектами, типа вот Elite Crazyhouse арены и там разные, Crazyhouse Curator, в общем, разные. В общем, он, как говорится, занимался многими вещами организационного плана, но все-таки он как бы нашел время сыграть в этом турнире и собирается серьезно, со всей серьезностью сыграть в этот турнир президента. Аватар неплохой. Шварценеггер с финским флагом. Да, и парень из Финляндии. Значит, сильно, знает много теорий. That's all.
Okay, very nice. Alright, the finisher. Zaraza is given Poseidon. Alright, Marlon, when you're ready.
I think he's in...
I can read this one if he's off. That's okay.
Yeah.
The finisher is an avatar of Poseidon, god of the seas and oceans. Sitting on his throne, he can spend weeks thinking about one chess game, moving shells and starfish until he gets the desired result. His endurance and patience are envied by all, because having risen from the depths of the sea, he crushes the most powerful opponents just as the sea destroys the highest rocks. Zaraza.
Мгм. The Finisher, аватар Посейдона, бога морей и океана. Сидя на своем троне, он может неделями думать об одной шахматной партии, двигая ракушки и морских звезд, пока не получит желаемый результат. Его выносливости и терпению завидуют все, потому что, поднявшись из морских глубин, он сокрушает самых сильных противников так же, как море разрушает самые высокие скалы.
Okay, let's move on.
Very nice. Okay, 264 Brock past the candidates. CSKA Moscow 10-0 in a few minutes, 8-2. MRT 6-1, Fumitox 6-4. Close one against Fumitox. Fumitox also a prior candidate. Had it very nearly defeated me as well. I was very lucky to escape. I won 7-5. And then he went on to defeat Tornon 6-1, and big game Little Plotkin narrowly defeating the Little Plotkin 6-4. So he's actually played 3 prior candidates in his time there. Moving on to his profile name, Daishi Lin, or sorry if I've not pronounced that right, Dahi or Daishi. Country being represented as USA. Interesting moments. I once played Jatsuki 99 OTB. I think that would be chess, and it was a very interesting game. Unfortunately, I lost the notation, but hasn't lost the memory clearly. Thinks he peaked in chess around 10 years old, and thanks for running the CWC event. Greatly enjoying it so far. Has put a picture up of Cabbage, so that is his Discord name, Cabbage. We'll let you translate, Igor.
Cabbage, wow. I don't know. I can't find translation.
Ну, в принципе, он сказал,
Как
что...
на русском вообще cabbage? Как на русском cabbage?
Раз играл против Ясуги.
Мгм.
Очень интересно
Нет,
был.
да.
Что?
Не, а как на русском cabbage? Чтобы вылетело слово.
Капуста.
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 Капуста, картинка тебе капуста.
Нет, не знаю, какой-то листик, я что-то не совсем понял. Окей. Не, но главное, на самом деле, его, не знаю, достоинство или недостаток, то, что он главный обидчик русскоязычной общины, потому что он выбил и Фумитокса, и Литл Плоткина с ратным счетом 6-4. Вот.
Не, ну он хорош, он в этот раз
Не,
вообще
хорош.
красавчик. Даже не жалко, если
вот.
честно.
Не знаю, если и Фуми, и Плоткин хотел бы видеть кандидата.
Ну, если он сильнее, если он круче, ну что теперь?
Повезло, да, ничего.
Ну.
Все по-честному.
Yeah.
Окей. So,
Okay, we'll move.
Он однажды играл с Jatsuki в шахматы, ну, в смысле, не по интернету, за доской, и проиграл, но, говорит, это была интересная игра. Okay, now the God.
Okay, sure. So, Pan. Here we go.
64 Brock is Pan, the ancient Greek god of animal husbandry, fertility, and wildlife. The young and impudent god threw cabbage at Zhang Li so much that he almost won the match for the right to become a candidate. It was a very difficult match for the god of knowledge, but experience won over youth. The experience was very useful, and via the lower bracket, he still became a candidate.
Ту-64 Брок, древнегреческий бог животноводства, плодородия, дикой природы Пан. Молодой и дерзкий бог так сильно забросал Джанли капустой, что тот чуть не выиграл поединок за право стать кандидатом. Это был очень трудный поединок для бога знаний, но опыт победил молодость. Этот опыт был очень полезен. Через нижнюю корзину Ту-64 Брок все же стал кандидатом.
Okay, yeah. From my experience, not a player to be underestimated, and don't be fooled by the picture of this god. This player is serious fighting material. Okay. Right.
I mean, he beat both Fumitox and Little Plotkin, Russian guys.
Yes, that's a comment that's in the chat.
Yeah.
All right. Variants only. I think this is our last candidate. So path to candidates. Purple Green Ninja 10-0. Eldabava 10-0. Jack Voss 6-0. Very close against Tsume 8-6. Big result from Tsume. And even closer result with Blitz Bullet 5.5 to 4.5. Now, we're going to explain this picture on the right. Variants only actually sent me a slightly different picture, but the same theme. He said last year he had the Rover, but he says he doesn't really play A4 as much now. So he said now he's a sack sitter. So he wanted a guy sitting on a sack. The photo he sent me just had some watermarks put over the top. So I've taken this photo and it's got him with a computer there, beating up people by sack sitting. So former candidate in 1-0 Crazyhouse World Championship 2019 and also 2020. Has played in several World European Youth Championships. Is current League Chess World Champion in 3 Czech chess. And has said one of his favourite games was one of those played against me in a 5+5 league. He got to walk his king all the way to the other side of the board. He touched down. I didn't find mate, and he ended up checkmating me. So that was a very fun game.
You mean in 3 checks or
3
Crazyhouse game?
No, the game with me was Crazyhouse. The game with me was Crazyhouse.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I hardly understand how I can do the 3 checks.
Sure. All right, we'll let you translate. Okay, go ahead.
I had some game also in my last CWC. Also, I had some game that I moved all my king during goal, that making touchdown. I mean.
Oh, it's lovely to win one of those. They're good fun.
I remember one of your games against Yasser. Then both kings came. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that one too. But we had kings on the opposite ends of the board.
It was fun one to watch.
All right, we'll let you translate, Igor.
Okay, I'll translate. Значит, вариант зомби, окей, значит, он был кандидатом был в 19 и 20 годах. Он играет не только в Crazyhouse, он чемпион мира по трем шахам, играет 3 шаха, то есть до 3 шахов. Он чемпион мира сейчас по этой игре. Кстати, еще не просто так называется варианты, то есть, наверное, еще какие-то другие варианты его интересуют. Была у него интересная партия с Джанли. Это когда его король там дошел до последней горизонтали, не получив при этом мат, и он поставил мат. Я еще вспомнил партию, когда он играл с Ясер Серваном еще круче, когда оба короля почти поменялись с горизонтали. Да? То есть черный король дошел до первой горизонтали, белый до последней. Это потрясающая партия. Да, вот там тоже был мат. Вот. Ну все, вроде про него пока все. Тоже очень сильный игрок, как бы. Еще очень сильный чемпионат на самом деле.
Он мне нравится очень, да. Он такой.
Да. Еще
отличается.
Вот эта партия, он очень ненавидит в шведках, когда в общем жертву, ну, в принципе, никто не любит, когда партнер там жертвует и сидит, и ждет там фигур. Вот демонстрация этой вот таких бьет, скажем так. Ну, демонстрация, что вот сидит и как бы и жертва нажимает там на клавиатуру. Okay.
All right. Before we move on, I do feel I have the need to explain to newcomers. I mean, community members will understand this, but someone new might say, "What's a sack sitter?" So the term is from Bughouse Chess, where there's 2 boards and 2 teams of 2 players, and sack is short for sacrifice, and sit means sit, which means you're not moving. So, yeah, I didn't explain it in English though, but yes, the term is, in a way, it's a style of playing where you sacrifice your pieces and then you don't move, and then you tell your partner, "Hey, get me all the pieces." And it's, in a way, it's frowned upon in the Bughouse community because it's not really a helpful style. It's lazy. But in sometimes it is actually effective. So while frowned upon, it's a bit of a laugh to say that he's kind of playing badly, but actually succeeding with a style which in
If you have
theory,
a good if you have a good partner, it should succeed. I think.
that's right. And
Good fast partner.
the theory is in Crazyhouse, because what you lose ends up in your opponent's hand. In theory, this is not a style that should work. So it's just a bit of fun. I think it's actually a modest statement from variants only. So that's what a sack sitter is. And we have.
Окей, в шведках эта стратегия может еще сработать, если у тебя партнер, который играет очень быстро и хорошо, и дает тебе фигуры, ты можешь посидеть, подождать фигуры, как бы получить и выиграть. Но в Crazyhouse такой вариант не проходит, и поэтому вот в этом одна из разниц, как бы, шведок и Crazyhouse. Окей.
All right, variants only, Morpheus. Okay, Marlon, your turn again.
Indeed. Hello, Bella. Variants only is Morpheus, god of sleep and imagination. Morpheus can take any form and appear to people in a dream. He is able to imitate the opponent's playing style, confusing and distracting from the game. If the opponent is significantly inferior to him in terms of level, then variants only will play half of his strength, considering that it is not worth wasting energy taking a nap between moves. And if you resist for long enough, he will rouse himself from his repose and launch a frontal attack.
Вариант Сонли — это Морфий, бог сна и воображения. Морфей может принимать любую форму и являться людям во сне. Он способен имитировать стиль игры соперника, сбивая с толку, отвлекая от игры. Его противник значительно уступает ему по уровню. Если противник значительно уступает ему по уровню, то вариант Сонли будет играть половину своей силы, не считая, что не стоит тратить энергию зря. Между ходами можно и вздремнуть. А если вы будете долго сопротивляться, он удивленно откроет свои сонные глаза и пойдет в лобовую атаку.
It's like it reminds me Carlson just dreaming, almost dreaming against Anand in the match, in the World Championship match, if you remember that. Как Карлсон почти заснул фактически, может даже заснул против Ананда, когда он играл. Напомнил мне как раз.
Так было скучно.
Yeah, I do remember that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that concludes our very long presentation. I want to say a big thank you to Zaraza for pulling together most of the original content, and to Marlon C for translating into the text. Igor, it's been wonderful to have you as well. Okay, you're on camera. Nice to see you as well. Bella's here now. We've got the cameras on stream. She's just woken up.
Bella's woken up, so have I.
Yes.
Hello, Bella.
Hey, Marlon says hello.
How are you doing?
She says, how are you doing?
Yeah, there you go. There's
She's
a wave.
good.
Hello.
Right. Give us a fist bump. There's a fist bump.
Okay.
Yeah? There it is.
All right.
Yeah, come on.
Marlon also want to thank you face to face. Thanks for your help with the organisation of the tournament this year. It's been great.
It's nothing.
It's been fantastic.
It's really nothing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Как русские люди скажут, не за что вообще. Вот. It's nothing.
So modest. Igor, Zaraza, I know it's very late for both of you now. Thank you so much for staying on. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to meet all your new faces. I hope we do more things in the future. Okay. All right. I will have to start making a move because I've got to get to the next appointment in life. But thanks also to the viewers for joining. This will be posted on YouTube as well.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure to be here and to translate and to have fun, a lot of fun. So I helped. I did that as much as I could. So bye.
All right, thank you so much. Candidates are open. Okay, first round.
Thank you very much. I like this stream, and see you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. We'll see you next time.
Have a good
Yep.
one,
Say one
man.
thing. Say one more thing, Zaraza.
Bye-bye.
Yep. Okay. Bye. Take care.